Number 1 is under the cloche. Lift away. Where in the world are we going?
What? Dessert? I have 1,000 questions.
Are they poppy seeds? Oh wow, it smells so sweet.
Okay, so it's in like a...
Sugar syrup? Are you sure this is dessert?
Have a taste.
Sugar syrup?
And poppy
Oh,
seeds?
it's butter.
I should...
Oh my goodness.
Sugared
it's
butter?
Sweet butter. And there's a lot of it. That's what that smell is.
That is so unusual.
It's sweet and buttery. Yeah, the bits on top feel like poppy seeds.
Yeah.
Kind of taste like poppy seeds, but might not be poppy seeds.
Literally made by boiling noodles or pasta and then tossing it in butter, and the only other 2 ingredients are poppy seeds and sugar. Sometimes it's made with a sugar syrup or a honey, but actually just sugar and poppy seed.
Okay.
How am I looking?
You've got a little bit everywhere.
What's amazing is it's considered quite everyday in this country. It's served in everywhere from like nurseries to university campuses and canteens.
Nurseries?
And at home because it's so simple to throw together.
Can we have some clues, Ebbers?
Yeah, need some big clues.
Tell us more.
Kids particularly love it, and in fact some parents have been known to give it to their kids because it kind of quietens them down, which is perhaps because it's got so many poppy seeds, it leans into the kind of opium element.
What?
Well, we've all seen Wizard of Oz where they're running through the poppy fields and they get sleepy.
I didn't think we were going there.
Some sources say that exasperated parents would historically serve this dish to soothe unruly children and help them fall asleep. Dates back to the 16th century, so it is a long time ago.
Fascinating dessert, but I've not got a foggiest.
Yeah, I need more.
Every family might put their own spin on it. Sometimes they might add in other ingredients like walnuts or ricotta. And poppy seeds are so common in this country's cuisine that you actually sometimes find poppy seed grinders in the kitchen or on the table. In the same way we've looked at sesame seed grinders previously, or we tend to have black pepper grinders.
Fantastic dish, really interesting. I'm trying to pin down where you're from.
Can you narrow it down? I need you to lock in a country. Remember, if you get the country spot on, you get 3 points. If you both get it wrong, then whoever is closest based on centroids will take a point. You both have an answer locked in? Mm-hmm. Let us see what it is in 3, 2, 1.
Greece.
Peru.
Ooh.
Very different parts of the world.
No.
Far apart.
Yeah.
Why Peru?
Well, I instantly went to Italy because of pasta. Ricotta.
Well,
And I thought that's just too obvious. So then I started thinking about where poppies grow. They grow loads of places.
yeah.
I do remember a story about you drinking some coca leaf to chill you out in Peru when you got altitude sickness, and I was like, well, you know, they love a little bit of chilling people out through drinking and eating things. So
Coca leaf is very different to poppy seeds, but it's a fair logic.
it's not.
I mean, I can see how you got from A to B. It's just you should have carried on to C, D, and E. Baz?
I struggled to leave Europe. I think I went towards the Mediterranean because of Italy, and I was trying to look around the area about what draws me to it. And the walnuts, I know you can get walnuts in Greece. Poppy seeds, I just don't know anything about poppy seeds. I really struggled.
No.
Neither of you are correct, but one of you is only 571 miles away. This dish is called makosh testa, and it's from Hungary.
Oh, damn it.
So Barry is much closer,
Take it.
You are very close.
although not quite there. I have to be honest, it's actually not something I'd heard of either, but poppy seeds are used a lot in baking in that part of the world. So Poland, Hungary, and we know of the poppy fields and what the one time a year when we tend to wear poppies, and that kind of part of Europe.
Wow. Okay, we've had some surprises in these before, but that's one of the biggest surprises so far.
Yeah, it's biggest surprise because it's a combination of ingredients I'd never expect to eat, but I'm familiar with.
Yeah.
And it tastes great.
Well, Barry takes 1 point as we move into round 2. This is a fun one. Lift the cloche.
Everywhere.
Oh, I know.
Ooh. Okay.
How dainty and delicious.
An almond panacotta looking thing.
It smells very almondy. Very. It smells like pure almonds, like
Very.
marzipan. It's panna cotta. Oh, it's very delicious. Is it just that? Yeah, it
I've
is.
nailed it. It's an almond panacotta.
Yeah.
Could be almond cream as well, like almond milk.
Yeah. Yeah, just a really delicious, creamy, smooth almond dish.
This dish is a jelly dessert made from milk, cream, sugar, and almond extract, as well as water and gelatin. Now, it is often made with fresh almonds that are ground down into an almond milk or an almond paste that also gets mixed through. But traditionally now, in this country, it is served an awful lot, often as a little free gift at the end of a meal in restaurants, where everyone just gets one because it's a nice palate cleanser. And sometimes they use the almond extract to make it more affordable now than going through the process of grinding your own almonds. Now, almonds have a very similar flavour profile to apricot kernels, i.e. the little stone inside an apricot, or actually it's actually the bit inside the stone inside the apricot.
Yeah.
And this may also originally have been made using those. So apricot kernels or almonds, it's a bit of both. And can I add to your clues one fantastic story?
Please.
This dessert is said to have been attributed to a famous miracle-working physician about 2,000 years ago. And this person wouldn't ask for money in return for treating people, but instead would say, go and plant an almond tree over there on that mountain. If it was a minor ailment, 1 almond tree is enough, go plant one. If it was a serious illness, it might be 5 almond trees, go plant them. And over time, an entire forest of almond trees grew, and it meant that anybody could go and harvest almonds, and therefore they could trade those almonds for other things as well, but also make this dessert. It's said that 2,000 years ago, it's the origin of this dish.
The more I eat it, the more I fall in love with it.
It's delicious.
Absolute genius.
It's so simple. It gives me blancmange vibes. It's a milk jelly. Usually and typically made with gelatin now, but it could also be made with agar-agar. And the only other clue that I'm going to give you is the title of the dish. The name is almond tofu, and yet this dessert contains nothing of the sort.
Why?
It's not helpful. In fact, that's just really confusing.
That makes no sense at all.
An answer from each of you locked in. Where in the world is almond tofu from? 3, 2, 1.
Tunisia.
Egypt.
Oh, you've both gone very similar with North Africa.
Yeah.
Why?
I first went towards Morocco because, again, lots of almonds and apricots within their tagines and so on. But then it gave me a lot of Italian vibes. So I went further east along the north coast.
I was thinking of established countries and empires that are over 2,000 years old. The tofu thing,
Yeah.
I think that was a curveball, because then looking at things like milk, probably more likely to be over this side of the world than perhaps the Far East, but I may be absolutely wrong. It's almost European style.
Yeah. To me, it's got Italian kind of vibes to it. I think,
Yeah, or French, like
You're both very, very close to each other,
very close to each other.
but a long way
oh no,
from the
it's China,
country.
isn't it?
The miracle-working physician was called Dongfeng. He was part of the Han Dynasty.
What?
This is from China.
Oh, what?
I thought China, and then the
Did you
only
really?
thing that swayed me was, well, there's milk in it. And I know it's used, but I just didn't think, I thought this was so European in style.
And there's a couple of trains of thought there. It might originally have been the almond milk, as we said, rather than dairy milk, made from the almonds. However,
I think I'm closer because I'm the next country along, aren't I?
No, I'm one along from you.
Oh no, you are!
Baz, you're just over 5,000 miles away. Mike, just over 4,000 miles away.
It's a
So
point.
Mike takes a point. It's 1-1 apiece.
No one deserves
No
a
one
point
has
for
done
that
point.
guess.
No.
It's a delicious, delicious dessert. And interestingly enough, the Mandarin word for almond and apricot kernel are the same, Zingren. So they have such a similar flavour, they've even been given the same word in Mandarin. And I just love the story of Dongfeng and saying, don't pay me for my work, go plant a tree. It's amazing how fast forward 2,000 years and we're still encouraging people to plant more trees.
Wow.
It's 1 apiece, and we move on to round 3. This one is delicious. but quite tricky.
Oh, this looks fantastic.
Are they cookies?
That smells amazing. It just smells like deep syrup.
Oh,
Little treats, they're sold on the streets, on the beaches.
wow, that's sugary.
It's like dark sugar and coconut.
That tastes like a cookie that's gone wrong. I mean, I've got the ratio slightly off.
It's gone right.
But it's
Yeah.
delicious, yeah.
What's in it?
Coconut, surely.
And sugar.
You've named 2 of the ingredients. There are only 2 ingredients. Coconut and sugar. So desiccated or shredded coconut and sugar that forms like a caramel basically, and then you pour it out and it sets.
That's amazing.
So it's kind of a cross between like a nut brittle and sometimes they put things like lemon peel into it and there could be other flavours added, but this is just pure and simple. They are loved, you can see why, they're delicious, but because they're pretty simple, they can be made by anyone. They're often made for special occasions, particularly Christmas and New Year, although they are sold everywhere in the country. Street food, beaches, it's very much just like grab and go. Do you want the name of it?
Yes, please.
That'd be lovely.
A cucarinhas, which might get that name because this country was a Portuguese colony until 1975.
Well, that's a clue, isn't it? Well, it's a bold clue. It's a really good clue if you know your geography.
If you know your geopolitics, I'd be impressed if you get this one. You both locked something in. A simple sweet treat with coconut, sugar, and Portuguese influence. What have you put down?
Oh, really? Uruguay.
Oh, Dominican Republic.
Oh.
Coconut is everywhere.
Yeah.
And then I was thinking the Caribbean,
Yeah.
because I know that there's some Spanish influence, and I thought Portugal's only underneath Spain, so if the Spanish had ships and went over,
Yeah.
maybe the Portuguese followed them and colonised
They're under a bit of Spain, yeah.
some
Yeah.
of the Caribbean, and so then I just picked Dominican Republic.
Great.
My top many miles away of the logic was a kind of coconuts and then Brazil and down a bit. That was literally it.
You could be right.
We all said on the team, if you got this, you probably should just take the win anyway. This is from Sao Tome and Principe. It's a country formed of 2 larger and several smaller islands in the Gulf of Guinea. So it's on the equator, just off the west coast of Africa, sort of south of Nigeria.
I'm nearer. Oh, hang
I
on.
don't think you are.
Yeah, I am.
We're both so far away.
Oh no, because you're down.
And you're there.
I'm further east.
I love the fact that at this point they don't care about where the country is, they just care about who's closest.
It's delicious. Well done. What were they called?
Sao Tome
Sao
and
Tome
Principe.
and Principe.
Sao Tome and Principe. Great job, guys.
2 larger and several
I need the point.
and several smaller islands in the Gulf of Guinea. We should stress this is maybe a slightly darker colour of some of the ones we saw. There's other paler versions, there's lots of varieties, but basically coconut, caramelised sugar, sometimes lemon peel, delicious.
So simple.
Mike, 5,349 miles away.
Oh.
Barry, you are closer with 4,636 miles away. Both a long way away, but Barry, you take the point. 2
I
points
don't
to
think we
1.
deserve points those last 2 rounds.
I agree. Just that last one, I
I think
agree.
just
Neither
one-
of us should get any points for that last round.
And comment down below if you are from that country.
Oh, that would be amazing.
The 2 larger and or several smaller islands that make up Sao Tome and Principe. And we will move on to round number 4. Either of you can win this. Mike, you can also draw. Carefully lift the cloche.
Together?
Oh, okay. Oh. Okay. It's coffee.
Coffee and what looks like Baileys at the bottom.
Coffee and milk? Oh, nice. Is it condensed milk or evaporated milk?
Oh, why is that so hard?
What's so hard?
The jelly, it's like,
Oh.
it's crunchy. That's weird.
I wasn't expecting that.
It's not like wibbly wobbly jelly, it's like,
Yeah, keep thinking it through.
It's definitely coffee, isn't it?
Yep.
oh yeah, definitely coffee. But I'm trying to work out why it's either got a lot of gelatin in it to make it just that firm.
Or it's not. What is it? What else could it be?
Something we have already spoken about in this
Sweet,
game.
condensed milk.
Well,
Yeah, it's very sweetened milk. It can be condensed milk. Sometimes it is more of a whipping cream. It has a richness to it.
It's nice when you combine it all
But yeah, when
and
you-
you've chomped through the jelly cube.
Chomped is a good word. It is something we've already talked about in this very episode. It is coffee jelly, but set with agar-agar.
Oh, okay.
So stemming from seaweed, as opposed to gelatin, which is what we use in a lot of our set desserts. So it has a different texture, which enables you to cut it into those really, really, really tight, smart cubes. So it's found in restaurants in this country and/or convenience stores, and they do say that, as in, pre-tubs, like you can buy chocolate mousse or sweet things in our convenience stores. They come as a pre-thing, peel off the lid, you've already got the coffee jelly and the sweetened milky thing underneath. And they say the coffee, whilst it is sweetened, should be a really dark roast and really quite bitter to offset the sweetened and rich cream.
Okay, I think I've got a guess.
Have you? I think I might have a guess.
I think we have the same guess.
So similar recipes date back as far as the 1800s in Britain, and the earliest traceable recipe for this was from a collection of 800 recipes from the renowned Writers of Domestic Economy, a book, The New Family Receipt. Back in the 1800s, in Britain, was where this recipe was first kind of began, and has since become popular in the country we're talking about today, inspired by British coffee jellies. Yeah. So the answer we're looking for is the country where it's now popular in restaurants and convenience stores, however, inspired by British coffee jellies.
Okay.
British coffee jellies? I've never heard of that.
Sometimes can be garnished with coffee, with vanilla, with cinnamon. Could be made with espresso, it could be garnished with a sprig of mint. Lots of different presentation methods, but sometimes it's as simple as we've given it to you today.
How?
I don't know. Just something feels right about my guess.
Oh, you're such a pompous.
Coffee jelly. Where in the world have you put? 3, 2, 1.
South Korea?
Australia.
Ooh.
Why South Korea, Baz?
Wow. Good guess. Interesting. South Korea, it's a textural thing for me. The flavours of coffee and the sweetened milk, I know there's lots of popular dishes in South Korea that have those. The texture thing as well reminded me like boba tea and like things that we here find some at first a little bit odd. Also, I know in South Korea they love British things like David Beckham, and Johnny, so it was either that or Japan in my head.
Mike, why Australia?
I instantly started thinking of things like hello, sweet and cream, condensed milk, that sort of
those kind of grass jelly kind of vibes.
Yeah. And then I was thinking, well, where's the British connection? Well, there was a British connection between the English and the Australians.
The Australians make amazing coffee.
They love coffee.
Coffee shop culture.
Coffee shop culture, especially the 60s. That's why I went to Australia.
Both really solid logic.
I like your answer more than mine.
I think Baz went with the agar-agar and that textural thing, and Mike leaning into coffee culture. This dish, coffee jelly, is from, Baz, you're going to kick yourself, Japan.
Oh, no!
You both got really excited when I mentioned convenience stores.
Yeah.
And I thought that, and our experience in Japan at convenience stores, is all the amazing things you can get. Coffee jelly is one of them, as you can also get them in restaurants. It was in the 60s when Japanese coffee shop Mikado opened, and it went across all of their coffee shop chains.
You were right, it was one of two.
It was one of two.
I can't believe it. Well done, mate. You take the win.
Am I closer?
You are, about 3,500 miles closer.
Just to confirm that before I got too excited. Good.
Considerably closer.
Which gives you another point for being closest.
Yes.
Barry, that puts you on 3 points in total today to Mike's 1. You take the win.
Well done. Congrats.
Good.
But haven't we all learnt some delicious lessons?
We have.
Not so much about geography.
From poppy seed pasta through to almond tofu, which was your favourite? Comment down below. 4 global desserts, and were there any that you've never heard of before?